Bowling Green's Classic Rock, D93. It's the Tony Rose Morning Show on your Thursday morning. Hope you guys are having a great morning out there in Southern Kentucky as we get things up and running for you. Coming up in a few minutes, we're going to be joined by our buddy Kyle Walls. He's got details on this year's Bourbon and Brew Fest happening over at the Bowling Green Ballpark this October, but tickets are on sale now. But in the studio with us, I love talking to our friends in the community who are out there grinding every single day. And when I say grind, I mean, I'm talking like in the heat of summer grinding. And especially when they have more unique jobs. And I must say, in my 21 years of radio experience now, I've never had a chance to interview somebody who is out there working every day to keep the water refreshing and cool and at the right levels in all of our pools across the area. John Ernst here from John's Pool Service, located out of Franklin, but working here in Bowling Green all throughout Southern Kentucky. What's up, buddy? Good to have you on the show, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thanks for letting us be here. I'm excited and a little nervous.
Oh, it's fine.
But
No, it's my first day. It's totally fine. We got Kyle Walls out there waiting to get in here. He's good. No, he's been to the gym already this morning. He's already done 500 push-ups. He's good to go. No, I had a chance we chatted back at the Home Expo this year,
Yep.
and I said, man, I want to get you in one day just to talk about what you do because I think you have one of the more unique and fascinating lines of employment out there for folks. How many pools do you and your team at John's Pool Service do you guys work on in a given year? Like, what's kind of a number that you guys work on out
We
there?
open and close, probably 100, 150 pools. The pools that we work on, just a one-time thing, one-time cleaning, pool repair, stuff like that. It's in the hundreds.
We see
You know.
these shows, like on the Discovery Channel and stuff like that. Like these extreme home Miami pools and stuff like that. What's like one of the more like I guess wilder looking pools that you guys get to service or work on? Like ones where you walk up and go, "Holy cow, that's something off a reality show or something like that."
There's a few freeform pools that
Yeah,
are just in an area they're just crazy nice. I
really.
mean, they're just, you just walk up and you're like, wow.
Now, what do you mean by when you say free form for the folks who, kind of like with pool terminology? That's just kind of where it's like not a given rectangle or kidney shape or something
A
like
lot
that,
of
right?
curves.
Yeah. Yeah, like even with like the big fountains and
That's right.
sun decks and things like that on them and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Man.
yeah. They got big decks, big, waterfalls in them and slides built into the rocks and things like that.
You ever have one with like a grotto? Like where
No,
they
I haven't run across that in
we'll
this
we'll
area.
put that on the list.
Yeah,
We'll put that in at the Rose House
yeah.
next. We'll just stick it right under the fence out to the retention pond right there. So how long you been in that line of work? I can tell by you have a great tan that you've done it for a while. How long you been in this line of work?
On my own, about 3 or 4 years.
Right.
Working for somebody else, or probably 25.
Wow.
Off and on.
What do you like about it? Like because obviously it's a hard job,
Yeah,
and it has a lot of unique twists and turns. But what do you like about what you do?
wearing flip flops all day.
Oh, I just really yeah, totally yeah. It's required. That's required footwear, right?
My job is
Yeah.
to just hang out by the pool.
Yeah. So this year, especially more than ever, people are in a freak out mode. It's this world we live in now,
Yep.
with the COVID-19 and everything. So a lot of pools are closed or they're not open until late June. A lot of amusement parks, or you got to travel. I mean, Beach Bend isn't even going to open until the end of June, almost July now. So people are seeking out water wherever they can find it. And they're finding, that people, the neighbors are having more people over and things like that. So with that being said, you guys are out there servicing pools and making sure everything's right. If somebody wants a pool, obviously they're on a wait list right now because it's backed up,
Yes.
But like, how, what do people need to think about? Like, what's the biggest things that when you talk to people? Of course, you guys service pools, but you obviously work in the business. What kind of questions are people asking you, or what do people need to think about if they're thinking about getting it, whether it's an in-ground pool or like an above-ground pool or anything that you guys service? What are the big things that you guys wish you could like pull them aside and say, think about this before you do it?
Well, the main thing I think
Yeah,
is the layout of the pool. Some
yeah,
people, after they get the pool after the fact, they think, well, maybe I'll put a outdoor kitchen here,
yeah,
and things like that. And think about the overall layout that you want your yard to be after everything is done.
right,
You know, for above ground pools, a lot of people, you don't want you want your pool to be made out of a composite material, not metal,
gotcha,
because if you wind up going to salt,
yeah.
salt is corrosive and it will corrode the metal. All right. So, it's a few things you need to think about long term,
Yeah.
you know.
Now, what's more popular right now, salt or chlorine? Like, I guess. Well,
Salt,
yeah,
salt is getting a lot more popular.
yeah,
It's the only negative about salt. It's corrosive, but
yeah,
there's people that are customers of mine that have
yeah,
chlorine irritations. Their children do,
yeah.
and after they put the salt system in, it virtually went away.
Boom. So could you convert if you have chlorine? Can you convert to a salt system, or do you,
Yes.
okay? I didn't know if that's something you have to just dig the whole thing up and start again or
No,
something.
no, no.
Okay.
You can convert it over. It's all done at the filter pad where
Yeah.
the pump and filter is.
Yeah.
They can. I haven't seen any. They're convertible.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this, because you guys open a lot of pools as well. Of course, opening season, what that starts around 1st of April, I guess, and very into
Well,
March.
this year
yeah.
it started as soon as the coronavirus hit.
I was gonna say, yeah, same way. It's like, come on, man, let's move this up. Let's
It
get
was
out
50
of here.
degrees
Yeah.
outside, and people are like, "Dude, I need, you got to help me. I gotta,
Yeah.
I gotta get this pool open so the kids have something to do."
I don't care if they'll freeze to death when they get in there. That's not your problem, John. But let them get in there.
And those are mainly the ones that had heaters,
Yeah,
so they can,
yeah.
on a good day, they can heat the pool water up, and you know.
Because I hear about that a lot. Like people talking about, well, I got a heater on my pool. I got a heater. Like how fast, like how much of a difference does something like that make on a pool?
Well, you got heat pumps and you got
Yeah.
pool heaters.
Right, right.
So it depends on which one you have.
Yeah.
All right. But it can make, I mean, a heater, it could be, 30 degrees outside. You can heat your water up to, 75, 80 degrees.
So essentially, you can have like a jacuzzi in your backyard.
Yeah,
almost,
yeah.
if you wanted to.
I mean,
yeah.
depends on how big your pool is, how big the heater is,
Yeah, yeah.
and how cold it is. Obviously, there's,
Yeah.
several factors that play into it. But
Well, so like when you're opening these pools up, I feel like that it's almost like a kid on Christmas morning sometimes for you guys, or maybe like Halloween. I don't know, like the boogie monster in the bed, because I feel like because you pull these pool covers back. What do you usually see when
yeah,
you pull
this
these
is
things?
this is like
back?
opening a Christmas present.
I mean, a lot of like a lot of green growth and grossness.
Well, the majority of the time, I'd say 98% of the time,
Yeah.
if somebody has a solid cover,
Yeah.
when you open the pool, it's going to be clear. You're going to have worms and dirt in there, but the water is
Right.
going to be, in good shape.
Right.
If you have a mesh cover, unless you added some chemicals in the wintertime.
Do people freak out like people have them when they pull it back, like maybe for that first time, and they go, "Oh my gosh, my pool is like I didn't realize I had like essentially like another like an animal growth underneath this thing or something."
A lot of customers are,
Yeah.
they're out there and they're like anxiously anticipating us taking the cover off.
What's the okay? So anybody who's ever been around a pool, whether you own one or you've been at somebody's house, you always hear these stories. What are the weirdest things that you've ever found, like in the skimmer or like in the filters or something like that?
Well, the weirdest thing is we went to a house one time. It was in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Back 20, 25 years ago. It was a long
Right.
time. And they were saying there's a problem, but they don't know what it is. Okay,
Okay.
so we go out there, and the water wasn't circulating good and all that. So we go out there, and I see something sticking out of the little hole in the top of the skimmer plate.
Yeah.
And I was like, something's in there. And I thought somebody, a coat or something.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah,
it was
yeah.
still kind of cool. Fell in the water and got sucked up into the skimmer.
Right.
So I reached down there and I popped the lid off the skimmer, and a rabbit just kind of poof.
Like
Kinda-
alive.
No, he was dead.
Oh.
He died. He died. But
Yeah.
he was. It was a huge rabbit. It was
Yeah.
the biggest rabbit I ever seen, and he got sucked up into the
In the
skimmer,
skimmer
and he was just he couldn't go nowhere. And as soon as I took that lid off, he just kind of
popped out.
popped out.
You literally had a magic trick right
I
there.
know,
Like it
right?
was like the magic.
I
pulled a
jumped
rabbit out
back
of the
about
skimmer.
2 feet. It's like, whoa.
Because that's what
That-
freaks me out. Like that's like the biggest mystery when you go to the skimmer and you pull the top off and you pull. Anybody had a pool or been around a pool? It's like
Yeah,
it's a mystery
snakes,
basket. literally.
spiders,
Yeah.
bugs, frogs.
Yeah.
There's one pool that we open every single year,
Yeah.
and I know. It's kind of by wooded area and all,
Yeah.
out in the country, and I know there's got to be at least 50 to 100 frogs in there every single year.
Isn't that crazy?
Every
Oh
year.
my gosh. Yeah. See, that's just yeah. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do your line of work, man. I could not do it. It's a wild world. And on top of that, you're kind of like a chemist on top of everything else because you guys are balancing levels and stuff like that. And so think about this when you see a pool, whether it's at a beach bend or Holiday World or in someone's backyard or above ground or whatever it may be. just the names of some of the chemicals that are in there will freak you out a little bit. Like that's why I'll say it's better. I'll let you fool with it, John, because it sounds like an episode of Breaking Bad sometimes. Like you got to know your whole periodic table. What are some of these long chemical names that you guys have to deal with all the time?
Oh, sodium bicarbonate.
Yeah, see, I couldn't tell you what that is. That sounds like something you would like, use to like knock somebody out, like truth serum or something. I don't know what that
Yeah,
is.
yeah, and there's several different kind of acids.
Yeah.
Calcium hypochlorite.
See, those are, yeah, I
Yeah.
don't need those words. Hydrochloric acid, whatever. That's it's a wild world. John's pool service. John Ertz in the studio with us. I appreciate you coming by this morning. Now, you guys are locally owned and operated right here, well, based out of Franklin, but serving all over Southern Kentucky.
We're in Bowling Green 3 times a week.
Very
At
good
least.
guys, very, very good guys. And as anybody who's had to deal with any kind of, business out there, it's good to find good local people that'll do what they say they're going to do, and they're going to be there when they say they're going to be there. So appreciate you guys being out there. And like I said, grinding in the world that is this new world that we're in right now, So
Yeah.
yeah. So what else? Yeah. What else do we need to know about you guys right now?
Well, not necessarily about us, but make your pool or backyard a place of enjoyment.
Yeah.
Watch YouTube, videos about how to clean your pool or whatever.
Yeah.
Learn what you need to learn as far as what you want to do with your pool.
Right.
Find you a reliable, good pool service that can take care of the rest for you.
Yeah.
Some people want to do it all, and that's fine. Take your water sample to Leslie's in front of Lowe's.
Yeah.
Have them check your water for you. They check for phosphates and metals and tell you exactly where you're at and where you need to be. They're
Yeah.
good people there. So utilize your resources.
Yeah.
And keep like I said, find a good pool service. When your motor goes out, when your pump goes out, when your salt system's not working right, when it's
Yeah.
just things you just don't know what's wrong.
Yeah.
You know,
And if you're thinking about getting a pool or putting one in, or just some information about above ground or in ground, even though you guys don't install them, but it's always it's a good reference though, because you guys are in the circle. So sure, it's one of those things where we'll point you in the right direction as to who to talk to and who to work
yeah,
with. And
certainly.
questions, yeah.
Call us anytime, and if there's some information we can pass on, you would
Yeah.
be happy to.
Good folks, man. John's Pool Service. I appreciate you coming by
Hey,
this morning. Like I said, I knew when we saw each other at the Home Expo this year, I was like, I got to get you on the show one day and just talk about what you do, because I'm fascinated by
Can I do a shout out real quick?
Shout out to whoever you want to.
Hey, I want to thank God, my wife, my customers, and my crew, both in the office and out on the field. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Because without any part of that equation, we
Yeah.
wouldn't be doing what we can do. So thank y'all.
I'll ring the bell for that one right there. There you go. John Ertz, John's Pool Service. Get in touch with them. That number is 270-535-1744. Of course, they're online on Facebook and stuff like that too, or just put in the old Google machine right there, and you guys will pop up right at the top. Thanks for coming by today, buddy. Thank you
It
very
was my
much,
honor.
man.
Thank you for
like I said,
allowing me.
You guys are out there grinding through this new normal with everybody else, man. That's it's good to support. Coming up, Kyle Walls will join us, Bowling Green Hot Rods.